I'm just so sick to my stomach right now.
Next to Fletcher Cox,
Well,
it's him and
Fletcher
Jordan
Cox.
Davis for like the next 5 years.
He's so coachable. Like he just keeps getting better, and he keeps getting better, and he keeps getting better.
The Philadelphia Eagles are a team that is coming off a magical run to the Super Bowl, big thanks to their new franchise QB Jalen Hurts, and overall, this team has just so much youth, and I expect them to be at the top of the league for many years to come. Eagles fans have really been spoiled over the last decade with some amazing teams, but in reality, all that does is make the expectations even higher, which can be both a good and bad thing. In this video, I'm going to be talking about why the Eagles had such a good training camp, why I expect some of the young players to step up big time, and why the NFL is terrified of this team as we approach the start of the season. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. I'm on the road to 20,000 subscribers, and all your support truly means the world. Alright, so starting off with some of the young guys, their number 9 overall draft pick and Jalen Carter is really starting to gain some momentum, and many have said that he's basically going to be a starter this season with the amount of snaps he's going to be in for. This is really telling because Philly of course has a super talented line with guys like Fletcher Cox, but so far, Carter has seamlessly fitted right in and his potential is through the roof. And even the Eagles' own players have voiced their excitement about this guy. Lane Johnson said that he thinks Carter could have a breakout year as a rookie. So when you got future Hall of Famers saying that kind of stuff about a guy, you know it's no longer just hype and it's legit. And Lane Johnson is the best right tackle in the game right now and hasn't given up a sack to even the superstars in the league in a very long time. And when he's in, the Eagles do a lot of winning, and when he's out, they do a lot of losing. It's kind of crazy how much young talent is on this Eagles roster right now with how good they are, because usually when it's this young, it takes a while for everyone to get accustomed to the league. But guys like Jalen Hurts specifically have taken the opportunity and run with it, and this team is so far ahead of schedule that it's insane. Howie Roseman has done a great job with making trades and moving around money so that he can sign free agents throughout his career, and specifically over the last few years. If an injury happens, he'll get a replacement right away. If there's a hole at any position, he'll immediately get on the phone, and he's just always willing to help make this team improve in any way possible. And I think it's been a lot easier now to convince guys to come in and join the culture that Jalen Hurts has built, because this is now a fun team to play on, and so many guys have great chemistry with one another. I think this Eagles defense under Sean Desai is looking to pressure the quarterback as much as possible this season, and they also want to play mean and with authority and take control of a game from the jump, because that would really make things easier on Jalen Hurts. And with how good the offense potentially can be, if you put an elite defense alongside it, this could easily be a 14 to 15 win team, even with the super tough schedule that they have. There definitely were some key departures, both player and coaching wise, but I think they brought in more than enough to fill those holes, and one guy that I really like is DeAndre Swift. I just think he's going to put up more production than Miles Sanders did, because last season he was able to put up over 500 yards with 5 touchdowns while sharing carries with Jamal Williams. Also, I can't forget about Rashad Penny, because he could be a pretty big piece on this offense as well, and I can't wait to see these backs in action, because in the preseason, it's mainly been all the third stringers and beyond getting all the reps obviously. And one downside that can't be ignored about the backs they brought in is that they all have injury history, which is a slight concern, but like I said, since they were able to sort of get 2 for 1 in return for Miles Sanders, I think both backs will be able to step right in as a RB1 if they had to. Alright, now I want to switch gears and take a deeper look into Jalen Hurts, because even with the numbers and wins he put up last season, believe it or not, some people still call him overrated. And I'm not sure what more he's supposed to do to prove himself. He literally put up 3,700 yards with 22 touchdowns, and then when he was out towards the end of the season, the offense plummeted, which proved pretty much every theory that anyone could do good around this roster wrong. And speaking of that roster, it definitely is true that the receiving room is pretty loaded with guys like AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert, And I expect this trio to put up even more numbers this upcoming season, and they're definitely a group that gives opposing defenses nightmares, and nobody looks forward to facing them, especially with the fact that you gotta deal with Hurts' rushing ability while trying to guard them. So yeah, basically, we will see a way more dynamic offense this year, and because of how much more well-rounded they are, I feel like they can finally use the running game a lot more in their offense, which is something that they wanted to do in the past, because even though Hurts is super talented in the rushing game, everyone has to hold their breath every time he takes off, and it would just be better if he saved some of his runs for the postseason, because this team has already proven that they're legit, and they just need to get through the regular season as healthy as possible. And one last thing before I end off this video, I want to talk more about the overall defense, because even though it may seem that they took a slight step back this offseason, according to people around the team, also out of Georgia, and in the last preseason game, he was graded the highest for his performance on the whole entire field. And also, in terms of the young guys in the secondary behind them, players like Keely Ringo and Sidney Brown have really seemed to be stepping up, and also, Nakobe Dean and Jordan Davis are guys that have been drawing some attention as well. Dean recorded just 13 combined tackles and 1 tackle for a loss in 2022, but he's a super intelligent player who can play downhill without being a mismatch in coverage. And I know I've been talking a lot about the young guys that have come into this defense this offseason, but the Eagles were able to retain some experience in Darius Slay and James Bradbury, and this defense is trying to be top 10 in the league if they can. So yeah, I know it's only camp in the preseason, and you never truly know what you have until you're playing real and meaningful games, but this defense has been looking pretty good, and if the Eagles are gonna make another Super Bowl run this season, then this unit is gonna have to be great. That's really all I have to say for this video. I am just so excited to see what the Eagles can do this year, because I know Jalen Hurts and many other guys are super motivated after coming up just short last year, and it definitely left a bitter taste in their mouths. Let me know in the comments below what your record prediction is for this team in the upcoming season, and I'm gonna go with 13 wins, because like I've said a million times so far, I believe in the changes this team made this offseason, but they do face the toughest schedule in the entire league, which will definitely make things pretty difficult. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point in the video, and if you enjoyed and haven't yet, make sure to drop a like and subscribe, because your support truly means the world. We are getting so close to week 1, and with that, there is just so much to talk about across the NFL, so let me know what you would like to see next. And until then, I will see you all later.